Technology and Livelihood Education. Family and Consumer Science for Grade 7. Our topic is Food Safety and Sanitation and Food Safety Management System. Quarter 3, Week 4, Part 1. The content standard for this lesson is: the learners demonstrate an understanding of the fundamentals of the hospitality and tourism industry. The performance standard is: the learners apply skills in food preparation and services following safety precautions. Here are the learning competency and learning objectives for this lesson. Short review of the previous lesson. How does the issue of labor shortages affect the growth of the hospitality industry? Letter A. It limits the growth due to capital constraints. Letter B. It leads to a lack of investment in new technologies. Letter C. It slows industry growth by limiting the availability of workers. The answer is Letter C. It slows industry growth by limiting the availability of workers. What is one potential drawback of increased competition in the hospitality industry? Letter A. Improved guest satisfaction. Letter B. Increased price cuts leading to reduced profits. Letter C. Better brand differentiation. Or letter D. Lower costs for both hotels and guests. The answer is letter B. Increased price cuts leading to reduced profits. What is vacation ownership, also known as timeshare? Letter A. The people buy the full property for year-round use. Letter B. The people pay for a single vacation each year. Or letter C. The people buy the right to stay at a resort for a specific time each year. The answer is letter C. The people buy the right to stay at a resort for a specific time each year. Activating prior knowledge. Directions: unjumble the jumbled letters to find the correct word. This word means keeping work areas from dirt or bacteria. This word means letting microorganisms from one food get into another. This is the process of evaluating potential hazards associated with food production or service. Do you have any memorable experience where you realized the importance of safe food handling? Here is one of my experiences. During a volunteer event, I realized the importance of safe food handling. While sorting donations and preparing meals, one volunteer touched raw poultry and then handled vegetables without washing their hands. I pointed out the risk of cross-contamination and explained how it could lead to foodborne illnesses. This experience emphasized the need for practices such as washing hands, using separate utensils, and proper food storage to prevent health risks. Here is another experience. One time, I was in a hurry and ate lunch without washing my hands. I had been handling my phone and other items before eating. Shortly after, my stomach began to hurt, and I felt nauseous. It was a painful reminder of how important it is to wash hands before eating to avoid transferring germs. The discomfort lasted for hours, and I realized neglecting basic hygiene could lead to digestive issues and other health problems. How about you? Could you share some of your experiences? Answer the following questions. What do you think will happen if the person touches the sandwich with dirty hands? When a fly lands your food? When juices or blood drips from raw meat onto a plate on cooked food? Unlocking content area vocabulary. Hazard analysis and critical control points, or HACCP, It is a prevention-based system of identifying and controlling hazards to maintain the safest food possible by purchasing through service. Critical Control Point, or CCP, is a point along the path of food flow that, if not controlled, might result in the food becoming unsafe to eat. Hazard analysis is the process of evaluating potential hazards associated with food production or service. The critical limits is the maximum or minimum values that must be maintained at a critical control point to prevent, eliminate, or reduce a food safety hazard. Monitoring is the systematic and routine observation and measurement of critical control points to ensure that they are within the established critical limits. Corrective actions is action that is taken if the critical limit is not met. Cross-contamination, letting microorganisms from one food get into another. Danger zone is the range of temperatures at which most bacteria multiply rapidly, between 40 degrees and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Food safety is following practices that help prevent foodborne illness and keep food safe to eat. Foodborne illness, sickness caused by eating contaminated food, sometimes called food poisoning. Perishable foods, foods that can become unsafe or spoil quickly if not refrigerated or frozen. Sanitation, keeping work areas from dirt or bacteria pathogens. Food safety and sanitation. Food hygiene constitutes a basic necessity of good manufacturing/agricultural practices and the development of hazard analysis critical control points, or HACCP, as well as being a component of all GFSI, benchmarked food safety standards. Government, industry, and consumers all play a role in safe sanitation and food hygiene practices. Why food safety is important? It protects the reputation of your food service establishment. It satisfies our moral obligation to protect the lives and health of our customers. It makes our employees proud. A lapse in food safety may cause contamination that can affect the reputation of your business. These topics show you how to ensure that your establishment is safe at all times. Foodborne illness. Commonly known as food poisoning, it is caused by eating food that is contaminated by bacteria or other harmful substances. The three major types of foodborne illness. First is the foodborne infections, are caused by food contaminated with bacteria, viruses, or other microorganisms. Next is the foodborne intoxication. It is caused by eating food that contains feces and other contaminants. And the toxin-mediated infections, caused by toxins produced by microbes on the food after the food is consumed. Pathogens are microorganisms or agents that cause diseases in living organisms, including humans, animals, and plants. They include bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, and prion. The bacteria are single-celled organisms, while viruses are much smaller and require host cells to replicate. Fungi can cause infections, especially in immunocompromised individuals, and parasites live on or inside a host. Prion are infectious proteins that lead to diseases in the nervous system. Pathogens spread through direct contact, contaminated food or water, droplets, or vectors like insects. The immune system typically defends against pathogens, but some can overwhelm the body's defenses. Controlling the growth of pathogens. First is the food. Lessen the presence of food by preparing only the amount of food needed and then storing and/or disposing of leftover food immediately. Next is the acid. If possible, make the food more acidic by adding vinegar, lemon juice, lactic acid, or citric acid. Next is the time. Lessen the amount of time food is left standing in the temperature danger zone. And the temperature. Move food out of its temperature danger zone by cooking it to the proper temperature or cooling it down and putting it in the chiller. Next is the oxygen. Seal food in airtight containers, vacuum pack, or cling wrap. The moisture. Lower the acidity by adding sugar, salt or alcohol, or acid. If possible, freeze dry or air dry to remove water. The food contamination. refers to the presence in food of harmful chemicals and microorganisms that can cause consumer illness. The two forms of food contamination: the direct contamination and the cross-contamination. The direct contamination happens when food comes into contact with harmful pathogens or contaminants, usually originating from an infected source. This can occur during production, handling, or storage of food. The direct contamination. The chemical hazards, or compounds. Chemical hazards involve harmful substances that can contaminate food either naturally or through human activity. These chemicals can pose serious health risks if ingested. Common sources of chemical hazards include pesticides and herbicides, residues left on fruits, vegetables, or grains after agricultural treatments, heavy metals, such as mercury, lead, or cadmium, which can enter food through contaminated water or soil, food additives, and preservatives. Some additives may cause reactions or allergic reactions in sensitive individuals. The physical hazards. Physical contamination can lead to choking, cuts, dental damage, or internal injuries. Glass fragments from broken bottles or jars, metal shavings from machinery used in food processing. Plastic or wood chips from packaging or food handling equipment. Stones or dirt that may be present in raw food items like vegetables, grains, or fruits. Bones found in meat or fish products that haven't been properly deboned. Biological hazards involve harmful microorganisms or pathogens that can contaminate food, causing foodborne illnesses. Bacteria, like Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria, which can multiply in improperly stored food or during food handling. Viruses, such as norovirus or hepatitis A, which can spread through contaminated water or infected food handlers. Parasites, including worms or protozoa that can be transmitted via contaminated food, particularly undercooked meats or unwashed produce. Fungi, molds or yeasts that can grow on food, producing mycotoxins that are harmful when ingested. In summary, direct contamination can be from chemical hazards, which involve toxins and substances that harm health, physical hazards, which include foreign objects causing physical harm, and biological hazards, relate to microorganisms causing infections or poisoning. Another form of contamination is through cross-contamination. Cross-contamination is when bacteria are transferred from one food to another and spread throughout the two foods. It can happen in various stages of food preparation, handling, or storage, and it's crucial to understand how it occurs to prevent it. Examples of cross-contamination: 1. When you cut raw meat on a cutting board and use the same board to cut vegetables. 2. When you touch a knife that was used to cut fish and without washing your hands you touch fruit. 3. Using a dirty dishcloth to clean different surfaces. Cross-contamination through chopping boards. We have to use color-coded chopping boards. Chopping boards are the prime culprit in many cases of cross-contamination. Therefore, using separate, color-coded chopping boards for different types of food is a great way to prevent cross-contamination. Here are the different chopping board colors and their meanings: green for fruits and vegetables, red for raw meat, poultry, blue for raw fish, seafood, yellow for cooked food, white for dairy products, brown, root vegetables with soil. Cleaning and sanitizing operations. Principles of cleaning and sanitizing. 1. Cleaning and sanitizing are two distinct processes used for very different purposes. Cleaning is the physical removal of soil and food residues from the surface of equipment and utensils. 2. Sanitizing is the treatment of a surface that has been previously cleaned to reduce the number of disease-causing microorganisms to safe levels. The equipment and supplies used for cleaning are different from those used for sanitizing. C. Removal of food particles. Scrape and flush large food particles from equipment and utensils before the items are placed in a cleaning solution. D. Application of cleaning agents. A cleaning agent is a chemical compound formulated to remove soil and dirt. Cleaning agents include an acid or alkaline detergent and may include degreasers, abrasive materials, or a sanitizer. E. Soaking. Small equipment parts, and utensils may be immersed in a cleaning solution in a sink. F. Spray methods. Spray cleaning solution on equipment surface can use either fixed or portable spray units that use hot water or steam. G. Clean-in-place CIP systems. The clean-in-place method is an automated cleaning system generally used in conjunction with permanent welded pipeline systems. H. Abrasive cleaning. Abrasive-type powder or pastes are used to remove soil that is firmly attached to a surface. I. Rinsing. Immediately after cleaning, thoroughly rinse all equipment surfaces with hot, potable water to remove the cleaning solution. Factors affecting cleaning efficiency. 1. The type of soil to be removed. 2. The water quality. 3. The detergent or cleaner to be used. 4. The water temperature. 5. The water velocity or force. 6. The time detergent remains in contact with the surface. And 7. The concentration of cleaners. Class sharing. You are buying food on the street, and the vendor uses his hands to handle the food and place it on the plastic. How did it impact your food experience? Class sharing 2. Think about how you handle food. After today's discussion, are there any habits you should improve or change?
A time to remember. This is Teacher Mylene. Thank you for watching and please subscribe to my YouTube channel.